Hello. Well, this is a first. We've got a Aidans Railways Extras live. And the reason it's live is because I actually do quite a bit of modelling and don't video it. So I figured while I'm doing little bits and pieces between projects and things, might as well make it live. Some people find it quite therapeutic. I don't know, but we'll see what happens today. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. So today, what I've got going is I've got 100. I'm not going to do all of them, but I've got 100 of these really cheap 187 HO gauge Chinese figures for a project that's going on that nobody actually knows about at the minute, but I've been doing it secretly for a while. They need doing. I have got some other things like camping tents, and there's a few other bits and bobs. So I have got some paints already sorted out, flesh colours, all that sort of thing. Basically, the bits and bobs that are lying around that I've had lying around for ages, paint-wise. Going to try and use them to make the most of these figures. They need to be in a sort of a summery look. I think the first thing I need to do is try and... Some of these are smaller than others. Like that is far thinner, although it's summer, and that one's got a massive jacket on by the looks of things. So look, I don't know if you're able to see. Yeah, that one's got a massive jacket on. So dropped it. Let's have a look. But some got bags, some's got things like that, so we need to try and separate them out and see what is what. That one looks like it's got a suit. So the music in the background, I don't know if you can hear it or not, that's actually from Creator Mix. I use a lot of their music in a lot of the videos I do, whether it be on this channel or the other channels. Some very, very thin people in some cases, but that might actually work to my benefit with what I'm actually doing, which I'm keeping hush hush at the minute. But it'll be a good video. I think you'll enjoy that one. So I think the last live I did was on the main channel, and that was, must have been 2 or 3 years ago, possibly 3 years ago. So a lot of people will be wondering, where have I been for quite a period of time? Well, the truth is, there's been some illness within the household, quite significant illness, and well, family takes priority, I think, is the only polite way of putting it. Family takes priority. So while that's been going on, yes, I have been keeping the car channel alive, but that's mainly to get out into the open air and do things. But the models have took a bit of a back line for a while, and quite frankly, there's a lot to do. The N-gauge model railway has moved on quite a bit. Now I could potentially do a number of videos on what I've been doing on that, but what I think I'll do is just one video at some point with just an update. You can see exactly how far that's progressed. It's actually very, very nearly finished to some degree, but it should be interesting to see people's reactions as to what that's like. I want to try and make this as regular as I can, being here on a sort of on a morning, maybe on an afternoon sometimes, and just do a little bit of model making. So the paints that I'm actually using today, no, I'm not sponsored, but these are what I use. I'm using Humbrol acrylics. There may be some enamels get used as well. I'll be using their thinners. And I've got some reasonably decent brushes. Some are Humbrol, some are just from Hobbycraft. It's nothing major. Just need to try and smarten these up just a little bit. Obviously, they're distance in there. When you're actually putting these onto a model, we'll barely notice. So I'm trying to think here. Let's have a look. So this gentleman is going to have some darker skin. Try that. I might go quiet through some of this. I find painting models quite soothing. That's why the music's quite chilled out in the background. But this, I figure, with the lack of videos recently, having some live stream where you can see what it is I'm actually up to, what I'm doing. So it's not so much a behind the scenes, it's definitely a lot more raw. So a lot of my editing takes quite some time, especially when I'm doing the car channel. And if you do appear, come and say hello on the chat. I've seen a number of people over this last summer and things like that at a number of shows. It's always been nice to have them come up and say hello. It has been very interesting. I know that Mick at Durham Trains has told me that a number of people have come into the shop actually asking whereabouts I am. They haven't seen me for a while. Am I okay? Have I quit or something like that? And no, that's not the case at all. I've just, like I say, there's been some illness within the household, family, and that's had to take priority. It's important to know that you know where your priorities are. But you'll be glad to know a number of things are certainly a lot better now anyway. And it's given me the opportunity to start doing some videos again. But while we get back into it, I figured a little bit of modelling in a live way, that could be interesting. Now these really are cheap. They really, really are cheap, these figures. But for what I'm going to be using them for, I don't think it's really a big issue. I mean, I don't even know if this will focus in. They're not going to be amazing, but they're certainly going to be better than nothing. Good painted figures, they can cost quite a bit of money, so the way I saw it was use up what I've got, use something cheap. Now, I bought this green paint a long time ago, and I've got to say, now this has been mixed up, and it has been mixed up very well. But I remember when I actually first got it, I did think that it was, well, I don't know whether it was the batch or not, but its coverage was a bit pants. Now, I know I haven't primered these figures, but to be honest, I don't think it's really going to matter too much. I can always put a second coat on. know I'm expecting deliveries of models today. So, knowing my luck, it'll happen whilst we're in this stream. I might have to disappear briefly. Go and take care of that. But it'll only be to collect them out there from the delivery driver. So this fella's sporting some green shorts, red t-shirt. Let's have a look, see if we can get it to focus in. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible. I think we need to possibly have a look at this gentleman's hair, and I'm not entirely, or hat even, I don't know. A light colour would have been good. Maybe a sandy colour. Let's clean that brush off. What have we got? Oh, these colours all look very. Try this one. Well, this will probably be the first time I've used one of these new dropper bottles from Humroll. Maybe about a year or two back, I bought absolutely loads of them for a project that still has yet to be done. So, as you can imagine, I've got a bit of a backlog going on, and we need to get to grips. There we go. I'm not too sure about this, but gonna give it a go. I don't think he looks too bad. Let's have a look. I don't think he looks too bad. But remember, when he sat down sideways, and he's just on a figure. Now, I'm not too bothered about where the clip is here around the feet. And the reason for that is because, in all honesty, I do think we're going to lose a few people's feet. It's quite a cramped space that I'm going to be putting people in. So I'm going to put this one over there, let him start drying off. Now, in order to try and get some of these done at some speed, now I've kind of got an idea. I know that we're going to have a number of them that are going to have green pants. So I think what we're going to do, we've got a satin black there. That's good. There's always someone in the middle of summer when it's red hot. In fact, I can confess to being this person sometimes who wears a black t-shirt or even a black hat, black shorts even, but not all together, and will be absolutely roasting to bits in the sun. So we're going to have to make some of those individuals as well, I think. That's stick into the bin. I'll put that there, now he's stirred up. And I think a yellow as well, a bright yellow. Oh no, this paint, this feels very watery. Very watery. I don't know what's happened there. But like I said, it's all a case of using what's left lying around. I don't like to waste these bits and pieces. I've actually purchased a really good airbrush, but I need to get the hang of using that airbrush because it's completely different to what I've normally used in the past. So it will be one of those occasions where that might be off camera. I don't know. Might be on camera, might be off camera. Drop my brush. So I'm going to give this gentleman some black trousers. Tell me, do you paint your own figures or you just buy them and stick them straight on? I've got some actually made, pre-painted, quite expensive ones from the likes of Bachmann and things. And I do have them for certain projects. But when there's the sheer volume that is going to be required for this particular task, I'm not entirely sure that that would be the greatest of ideas, because it would cost me an absolute fortune. It would appear my music's gone awfully quiet. Let's have a look. There we go. Back to some music. Now, while I've been away, I've also been buying models. I haven't stopped buying locomotives and things like that. In fact, I've got quite a lot more. And I think the reviewing scene's sort of getting a bit cluttered now with creators. Don't get me wrong, I still review certain things. Sometimes it's nice just to show you some of the bargain buys that I get a hold of, but there's a part of me that does say, well, if everyone's doing a review, unless you've got something particularly amazing to share with that review, well, you've got to ask, is it worth doing that review? Right, so we're going to go for some skin shades now. It's gentleman's hands. Make him a little bit pale. Not very good in the sun, this fella. I think we'll make him a dark-haired gentleman, so or brown, mousy hair, let's say. Mousy hair gentleman. I mean, it looks pretty pants, but it's definitely better than these. And they're just far too... the colours are just far too much for me. They're far too bright. But they're cheap. I think that's all that really matters right about now. Keeping costs low. I'm just having a look because I've never actually checked to see what this live stream's like. Yeah, so it is working. I hope the quality's all right as well. I took some time to use a decent camera here to do this, so I hope that is appreciated. Let's try a rather thin individual this time, see how this one works. I would say that this looks like a lady. Let's have a look. Let's try something different out. Now, there's no way they can all be completely different. It would take me far too long, so some of these are going to get duplicated in their attire. I think we'll give this woman, this lady, yellow skirt. I'm not very good with fashion, so don't shoot me for it, you know what I mean? Don't blame me. My daughter always says I've got no sense of fashion, so. But once you get to a certain age, you're not that interested anyway. At least that's what I keep telling her. What sort of top should we give her? We'll have it on the shoulder just about. Looks like she might be a bit bored. She must have been dragged out by her other half. So, oh no, what am I doing today? Stuck here doing this. Either that or she's not very happy about something. I was going to put boots on her, but I think even if I put boots on her, well, you'd still have some sort of appearance of skin here, so there we go. A bit of that black, and then we'll give her some boots. There we go. Hair. Oh no, this is quite yellow. Let's see if we can dull it down just a little bit. Put some yellow in this mixing thing. Get a little bit of brown. Let's see if we can try and dull that yellow down just a little bit. I don't think she looks too bad. It's a bit green on the head there, isn't it? Tinkerbell. She looks more like Tinkerbell. But it's another one anyway. So I think now I'm going to have to try and do this so that I can speed the process up a little bit. So I'm going to pick a number of figures, let's say 2, 4, 6 figures there. And I'm going to give them all the same bottom half, we'll say. Well, hold on. These gentlemen all seem to be wearing coats, so let's find the gentleman with coats. Go. 6 of them. So the ones with coats, we're going to say have got black trousers on. So it's the beginning of February now, isn't it? And already, second month of this year seems to be flying over. So plenty of railways and model shows and all sorts need to attend this year. Have you got anything planned? I'm just having a look here. I think I've got a dropper bottle of this black, so I'm just going to see if I can. Oh, it doesn't seem very happy at all. Well, have a look at that one. But in the meantime, such a lot of projects all going on at the moment. But what are you to do? I can hear the wind picking up outside, doesn't sound too clever. When you think when I first started this channel out, I remember absolutely begging for certain models to be produced that I've been asking for years anyway. I made it quite vocal. It's quite interesting to see how many of those models have either been produced now or are being produced. So obviously, I was very excited when the APT was announced, that's as in the actual passenger version, the APT-P. And of course, we all know I've got those from other videos. I was ecstatic when that happened. And some of the other ones I've always wanted, for instance, would be the Longmoor locos, like the 210 Riddles Austerity. And this time, spoiled for choice KR models and Clark Railworks. And then top that off, it's like being spoiled. The United States Army Transportation Corps S-160. And that, I mean, absolutely brilliant. I mean, obviously we've got the Rails exclusive, which never actually existed on the Longmoor Military Railway. But then we've got the standard version. So it's really quite exciting this year with some of the releases. Some of those things I was asking for absolutely years. And so glad we're getting them now. So I had a quick count up the project that I'm actually doing where I need all of these people. And I reckon I need somewhere between 50 and 60. And it's not actually a huge project, but it's big enough to require that amount of people. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're painting them all, I mean, not exactly brilliantly, but individually, to try and save on money, takes time. So I'm going to keep doing some of them with the black here. Like I say, a lot of people's legs from the knees down are going to get lost anyway. The area in which these are going is exceptionally cramped. I'm just trying to think. So, things that haven't been reviewed or looked at purchase-wise while I've been away. Like many people, I've picked up Locomotion. I got the newer version, the Era 11, as opposed to the Hornby Collectors Club Era 1, but to be fair, no one is going to notice when that thing's on a layout. I'm quite happy with that. Picked up some more of the rolling stock for the Era 1, some more first class coaches and some more third class. I do like that. Actually, I've got quite a bit now with that Era 1. So there will be some things happening there, probably more on the live, because videos take such a long time to put together and edit up. As you can see, things are actually happening with a live. You can see what's going on in real time. Right, let's clean this one up. There we go. Some darker skinned individuals who are in their shorts. Wow. I keep forgetting where the camera is because it's above me. Well, I have missed making the videos. Like I say, I've been making the car ones. If you haven't been across and seen that, a lot of those summer months tend to be taken up with the car shows. Because obviously during the summer, all the car shows take place, and we have a number of Cavaliers. We have the Signal Yellow 1975 Mark I Cavalier GL, which is weirdly enough, not only a car from the northeast and the area we are in, but it is also one owner from new and the oldest known surviving example in the UK, which has caused us a lot of issues with people claiming that theirs are what about spurious claims, we'll say, which we've proven otherwise. But that was confirmed by the Vauxhall Heritage Centre about ours. And then we have a 1978 Mark 1 Cavalier as well. That's an automatic. That was at the NEC for the Cavalier and Chevette Club Practical Classics show. It's purchased off them and since has had a full down to the metal respray and rebuild. It looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, we've got a nice, if you're an 80s person, we've got a nice Mark II Cavalier as well, GLS 1.6, proper Repmobile, and that finds itself out there. When I drive that, it's like, it reminds me of driving a Nova in my youth. And it all felt the same back then. And there's also the Suffix A Range Rover. And there's another Cavalier lying around, a Mark III somewhere. And an Astra as well. I think that's all of them. But it's one of those things, the summer's quite nice, you can get out there, a bit like visiting the railways. With those car shows, you can get out and have a relax. Don't always video them either. Sometimes I just sit down and take the weight off my feet and chill out for a little bit, which I'm sure people can relate to. It's nice to just have a relax, especially if some of the shows, some of them take place in some really nice locations. The Durham Regatta, Beamish Museum, so got all those trams going past and things like that. And of course, the wonderful fish and chip shops there. I think around about this time last year, I think it was, maybe it's in a month or so's time, we had the Yellow Cavalier out for filming for a special production, which unfortunately I can say that's about as much as I can say because there's an embargo on that. So that was being used for filming in a new studio and looks incredible. I've got some footage, and not just in the studio, actually, we had to go out on location with it. And on film would look amazing, but actually at the time it was quite windy. It was it wasn't at all very pleasant at times, but it was a good day. We had all that going on in the time that I've been missing as well. So it's nice to sort of get back into the swing of things. I'm trying to think what else have I had over this time. Also picked up. It's hard to it's actually mad to realise just how many things got picked up. So 9F, we've got a couple more 9Fs. One's an older example, but that's for a project. And I also picked up Tyne Dock Hornby 9F to go with the KR Models Concert Steelworks wagons. And if you've got one bit, you need to have the rest, and that's exactly what I made a point of doing. I made sure I actually got a hold of them, or at least got a hold of a prototypical 9F that would have been used to go with those wagons, because they are really good, those wagons. Absolutely love them. I mean, obviously, I'm a bit biased because they have got that personal connection with them. What else have I purchased? Just having a look over my shoulder now. Oh, look. Oh, a lot more trams. A lot more Lomax. They're all sitting ready for project work. Some more Thomas and Friends Hornby and Bachmann equipment. Some of which are just ready to run, some of which need work. And it would appear the music's gone quiet again. What else? Oh, some electronics equipment for running. So make some automation. Nothing flash, stuff that's been around for a very long time, but I think a bit like those signal and point motors from Hornby that everyone sort of forgot about. They might be older now, but they still have a place, and they're still very useful in my eyes. Some more N-gauge items. In fact, there's a mystery bag sat on the shelving behind me, which needs checking out. I think it was a £15 mystery bag picked up Children Model Railway show. That needs to be checked out. Sky Electrics. I've been buying quite a bit of Sky Electrics. I'm not making it so that I'm turning the Sky Electric only. It's not at all. We can always have a bit of Sky Electric. We like our Batmobile and things like that, and the Back to the Future ones, and the Only Fools and Horses. But we've also been collecting quite a lot of the James Bond ones. Huge amounts of them, actually, as well as your Knight Riders and Mr. Bean. You can utilize those skills on building a good racetrack with model railways and vice versa. So for me, that helps out no end. I'm still trying to work out what else have I been buying or purchased in relation to model railways. While I've been away. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Turn around. Let's have a look. And right. Yes, lots of Era 1. Narrow gauge. Some more narrow gauge. And we have it to clear out. In fact, some of the Action accessories, I've purchased more of the Action accessories, some of which I already had, but either because they were incredibly cheap, obviously they're going to come in useful for the layouts, but also because some of them didn't work. And I do like a repair project. So there's some of I think the conveyor ones that need a bit of TLC. I'm just trying to see, what else have I been picking up? Lots of tools for making jobs a lot easier. Something that's often missed by, I would say, model makers and train enthusiasts, model railway enthusiasts, but it might not always make sense. When I go to the car shows for in the summer, when we take the Cavaliers and things to the shows, certain shows have quite a lot of traders there, whether they be Auto Jumble and things like that. But a lot of them sell tools and things like that. And a lot of them have a lot of stuff like these cutting mats, like this one that's actually on the desk right now. I came from a car show, and they were incredibly cheap, much cheaper than I've found on the internet and eBay and things like that, and much cheaper than I've found in your hobby stores. So I've picked up loads of them in various different sizes, and as well as that, I've also picked up quite a number of clamps, paints, even some of the models. And They're in locations you just wouldn't think of actually finding them, but they're there, and they've come in very handy. So I do notice on the actual chat when it's showing me how many people are turned up, I will warn anybody who has spurious ideas. The chat is on strict mode, so because I won't tolerate any bad behaviour or anything like that on the channel. And I keep things civil and nice for all ages. It's kind of weird when you're not talking to yourself, but you are kind of talking to yourself. I'm talking to you, you're listening, but at the same time, you don't know if you are. There's no one else in the room. Well, apart from the putty cat. The cat will not leave me, so I have the company of our cat the entire time. Just looking at me thinking I'm mad. Talking out loud. No one there. I've been thinking about doing this for quite a while now. Just having a live stream going as I work on some of the models. Obviously today, right, it's a bit different. It's figures. The next one may not be figures. Maybe something else. Actually, I'm sure it'll be something else. But it's always worth making the most of when I've got the time to do these models. Some in shorts, some in skirts. I'm not too sure about these people with the big jackets on though. But I might find a way around them.